And I'm not gonna lie, I was totally sitting here waiting for you, and I realized, oh wait, this is my show. Whoops.
Yeah, this is your show.
Yeah, it is.
It's been like 2 weeks.
Better or worse.
Has it been 2 weeks or 3 weeks? We took two.
It's been some weeks.
3 weeks, so we took 2 weeks off. That's how it works.
I
always forget how time works.
I do too. Interesting stuff. Wow. Welcome to the Catch-All Podcast, the water cooler for Constantly Calibrated, where we talk about our gaming experiences and sometimes the news. Hi, I'm your host, Justin, along with co-host Josh.
Hi.
And Ryan.
Hi.
Is that Arthas in the background?
That's Ollie, actually.
Oh, Ollie, gotcha.
Short for Ollivander.
I mean, as one does.
As one do.
We got some nerdy cats.
I got nerdy dogs and nerdy kids, it's how you do.
Yes, we're nerds.
Oh, he's taking a bath. I'm just gonna stare at Ollie this whole time.
No, not everybody else is.
I mean, you're in the primary spot on the podcast currently, so you are.
Yeah. If you miss a show, shut up. Sorry. I don't know why I apologize. I wanted y'all to shut up for real. We have taken a nice break, and we're back. We're back, people. So I imagine what game you play is going to be a large segment of the show, as it is anyways.
Go Paul Bills.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be the major part of the show, I would presume.
Trying to think what to start with, because my stuff is in no particular order.
Is anything in any particular order? I mean, if you want, I talked 3 weeks ago about Pokemon. I don't think I had finished it at that time, so I could just quickly say I finished my first ever Pokemon game since Pokemon Leaf Green. So
congrats.
Yeah, it was nice. Became the champion, finished the main storyline after the credits, because there's additional stuff after that. There's like an epilogue, essentially. Did all that stuff, and then it was like I sat there for a few seconds like, do I want to collect the whole Pokédex? And then I looked, and I'm like, oh, there's 400 Pokemon? That's not too bad. And then I looked at how many I had. It was like 115, and I immediately closed the game and took it out and put the cartridge somewhere else and never thought about it again.
Look that.
Way to go.
I liked it. It was an enjoyable Pokemon game. I'm glad I played this one. The story was actually really interesting. But I honestly think I never want to play a Pokemon game again as long as I live.
I think the right feeling.
Finally cured me of my Pokemon
That
interest.
feeling is exactly why I don't want to play Pokemon games anymore, because I had a red cartridge that I caught. I had all of them. I had completely filled out Pokedex. Like, I was balling for 7th grade. Like, yeah. And I'm like, yes, we're done. No more Pokemon for me. And they released like another 5 million of them.
Yep, pretty much. Like, that's...
Can't do it.
Yeah, that's kind of like where I got to Pokemon as well. Like, I completed the Pokédex on both red and blue, and then I think I almost did it on Leaf Green before, I think, I don't even remember the reason. I'm about to make a really bad joke, but yeah, before, like, actually I had better things to do.
I mean, that's accurate. Gosh, I was having better things to do. Speaking of which, I played another 10 minutes of Shenmue.
My new favorite recurring segment.
I mean, in reality, played more, but yeah, I jumped back into shit. I actually wrote notes.
Oh God, no.
Let's see. So yeah, jumping back into Shenmue, like it's a weird thing that I'm playing. I'm like, I don't like this. I'm not into it, and then just hooks you again.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. First of all, I'm looking for thugs. You start looking for thugs in Shenmue instead of sailors. A third one, I'm saying.
Sure.
There is Shenmue 3 product placement everywhere. 2. I mean for the game itself. Like when he puts on his shoes, there's S3 on his shoes. If you look at your watch, Shenmue 3 is engraved in there. It's some stuff.
It's probably just to take the place of Sega.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Ryo replies to everything by repeating what someone just said in a form of a question. So he plays by Jeopardy rules.
I can't tell if this is my dream game or like my nightmare game.
You can't tell if this is your dream game or your nightmare game?
I wrote,
it's my nightmare game.
Snake poisoned, it makes you strunk. I don't know what that refers to.
Did you say strunk?
Strunk. Yes. Oh yeah. Someone says like, "Oh yeah, this person had a cold. I fed him some snake poison. He's better now." I'm like, what the fuck?
Jim Rage 69 in chat is saying, "When did you have time to write up notes?"
I was doing it while playing the game. Somehow, because like there's so much walking and talking. I had time.
A lot to cover in 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
There is a fighting. Actually, gets kind of deep. Kind of weird, but you know how some games have a prompt before you do your things to kind of give you an idea what's about to happen, what to do.
Sure.
The prompt for this literally is like push the buttons, see what happens. I think it literally says push the ABXY button. Or sorry, I'm playing PlayStation. It's a square. We'll call it X. Screw you, cross. Circle, triangle. It's push
cross.
the R2 button for some other things. Like it's not specific at all. Like it. I don't know. I need to post the picture to Twitter. So you know, some games like start is not in the menu, and like RPGs, some RPGs I understand. You know, Final Fantasy Classic for triangle. You ever push R1 for your main menu? Does that seem like something you would do?
That's weird.
It is weird. As I mentioned last time, the menu is a Dreamcast era menu. It is that basic.
I'm just like, I feel icky just thinking about doing that. Like
it is. But yeah, it's also the fighting thing too. Like that's just being a kind of martial arts themed game on top of a dated narrative. Like you actually get to train to get better. Like I had to spend a majority of one of my game days just training so I could beat a dude. Kind of cool. When you get new moves, you keep practicing them over and over and that's how you level them up. And one thing I always say, like, yeah, the dialogue is horrendous in Shenmue. The script is too. But that said, every NPC has something to say about what's going on at that moment, which is kind of impressive.
Okay.
I'll give it that.
That's a perk.
I chopped some wood. Weird chopping game. Like, it's literally like he just goes like, turns left and right, and you just had to hit it down. Now, if you get a perfect chop, some 80s music kicks in. Some nice like tribal drums too. And you get the rhythm, you start going faster. It's good stuff. But yeah, that's my 10 minutes with Shenmue this week.
I mean, wasn't expecting you to talk about it for 10 minutes. But
I didn't either. 10 minutes.
But still, I do appreciate the knowledge of Shenmue. That way I never have to play it.
It's good stuff. Sometimes. For some people. For a specific audience.
In a particular mood, on a particular day, on the 3rd of July. I don't know where the 3rd of July part came up.
Something game you played this week. Or last week.
Well, a lot of mine are basically just kind of like just going back and playing old games.
I was going to say, hold off on the big W3. We can get into that.
No, not that. Going back and playing other things. The new Final Fantasy VII remake is coming out in like a month and a half, and that's awesome. I'm really excited for it.
Dropping at who knows when, but actually happening.
Yeah. I mean, don't worry. They've only like completely data mined the entire game in its entirety from a demo that's not released. It's not a big deal at all. They shouldn't.
No.
They shouldn't just release it already.
Dudes.
So I went back and played Final Fantasy VII just so I could just get the full effect of all of the people that are going to be like, the first one was better. They changed it. It's different.
Playing how much of it you're playing here? The whole thing, or just
I played through the entire game.
Oh, holy crap! Awesome.
Yep, all 3 PS1 discs except on my Switch. That's what it. The reason I was able to play it, just kind of breeze through it, is like, have you played some of these remakes of like old JRPGs where they have like a turbo button?
They pretty much have like a cheat mode built into them.
Yeah, it's just like fast forward. I mean, yeah, they have the cheat codes and everything too, where you can, be invincible and get ultimate limit breaks and that kind of thing. But like, just for the sake of like just getting through parts I've already seen or getting to the part I want to, like the random battles, if you just put it in turbo mode, they just go 3 times as fast, and it's just it's so time saving. I love it. Great. I think all games should have the option.
Honestly, I've always known the turbo stuff existed and the cheat codes existed, and I don't know why I always forget that's a thing, and that now makes me very much want to just go buy all the Final Fantasy games on the Switch. I think if I remember vaguely, wasn't it written somewhere that they were coming to Xbox Game Pass?
Probably, but like honestly, if you want to get into Final Fantasy, everything 7 and after is pretty much on there. Of course, exception of the online games. I mean, 15 is technically on there, but it's a pocket edition.
Oh, I know what's on there. I've checked what's on there. I've been wanting to replay 8 because I haven't played it. That was my first RPG, and I haven't played it since it originally came out. I've played 85% of 7 originally, and I haven't intended to go back. I played 85 to 90% of 9, and just never finished the game. I played 10 to death to the point that when the remaster came out, even though I bought the game specifically to review for a site I used to write for, I literally could not bring myself to make it past about 5 hours of the game because I played it so much. I made the same mistake I always made it. I just started playing Blitzball, and I kind of forgot to do.
Gotcha. Now, little known fact about myself: my birthday was yesterday.
Yay, happy birthday!
So what do? I boot up Gundam. Who wouldn't?
Sure.
Gundam, Battle Operations 2. You know what? Every NPC in text only, once only, wish me a happy birthday in some way or shape or form. So I did that, get all my dailies, just awards, and shut it off. Honestly, I haven't played that much Gundam. And then I had to pop in Death Stranding because they do some special things for your big day.
Yeah, you were talking about that towards the end of a podcast last night.
No, well, there's a couple things. One, like you can hit a button to kind of like shout, like, "Hey, who's there?" When you just walk around with, Sam, Porter, Bridges, Ritas, and when you do it now, like it's like, "Hey, happy birthday!" It's like you big birthday boy shouts back at you and stuff like that. It's like, oh, it's all Bill Ritas' voice. Weird. And then if you load into one of the bunkers and come back out, you get one of the flashbacks with Mad Mikkelsen. It's a totally happy birthday one. It is so special. He winks at you, specifically you. And I feel special after it. You should go watch it on YouTube if you haven't.
I love birthday stuff in games, but that honestly some of the weirdest birthday stuff I've ever heard.
The fact that Kojima had this written, and like, someone made a big point. Like, when people were playing like Norman Reedus for best acting in a video game, like, he wasn't really that great. But I think Girlfriend Reviews actually pointed out him go along with the crazy crap Kojima made him do.
Yeah.
I give him credit. And he just did it.
Yeah.
He does it well too. I was like, yeah, you get credit. It's like, you want to film what? Me covering my private area when someone looks at it? Okay. Okay, me punching the camera. Cool. You want me to look at a mirror and stick my tongue out and make funny faces? I could do that. Sure. What's this game about? Oh.
No one really knows.
Postal Service in Apocalyptic Wasteland.
Yeah, so I did that. Oh. Sort of.
I really like how Kojima always does the time-based things.
Yes.
You remember in Metal Gear Solid 3, the end, or not the end, the old guy, the sniper. Was he the end?
That's the end, yeah.
Okay, cool, yeah. My favorite thing was always when I couldn't beat him, because, if you just do that fight normally, it's kind of tough. If you just like set the timer on your PlayStation for a year after your most recent save or whatever, then you come back and he died from old age. It's awesome.
I sincerely love stuff like that. Stuff like that's always why I wanted to play Metal Gear Solid games, because of the weird shit and weird time workaround stuff.
Yeah, like the classic, hey, put your controller in a second controller port to fight Psycho Manus so he doesn't read your mind. There's
just some like really nice weird crap in the games that I'm just like, I appreciate that.
He's still going strong with it.
It's outside the box, baby.
It's like the opposite Peter Molyneux. Like, he has these big ideas that he doesn't tell you about or anybody about, and just actually makes them in the game.
And sometimes people don't come across them for a very long time because he never talks about them, and there's no logical reason whatsoever why this thing should be in the game in some cases. I appreciate that. I appreciate the reverse Molyneux.
That's pretty much what it is. So Josh, I see you got some Shovel Knights.
So the main reason I really wanted to wrap up playing Pokemon was because right like a day or two after I started playing it, Shovel Knight King of Cards came out, which was the last of the Shovel Knight, expansions, because they're honestly not expansions, they're entire new games. They're chapters, yeah, that's the best word.
Episodes.
Yeah, that works.
Chronicles.
What, you got one more? Any more?
I was just gonna wait for you to start talking.
Okay, go ahead. No, so the Shovel Knight has Yacht Club Games been working on Shovel Knight since like 2013. We've had Shovel Knight. We've had what the hell? Plague of Shadows, I want to say, and Spectre of Torment.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I actually got those right for once. We've had those.
I mean, you're taking my as like 100%.
No, but I think that's what it is. That sounds right. And they retitled the Shovel Knight chapter as Shovel of Hope. So we have those. They announced King of Cards was going to be the last one because clearly they've been working on Shovel Knight for so long they need to do something else. They probably a little burnt out in it. So you might ask yourself, how does King of Cards stack up against the rest? And really well.
Oh, pun.
Shh. Indeed.
Oh, this house is falling.
House of Cards? What? Where we?
Let's not talk about that anymore. I'm all spacey out.
We can't talk about Kevin Spacey.
Oh, God, no. Oh, that's not what I was thinking. Oh, God, no. I don't even relate that to him in my head. Okay, anyways, no, so I really liked every chapter of Shovel Knight. I love the original. Plague of Shadows is a really different kind of game, but it's fun. Spectre Torment's got an amazing story. King of Cards, I looked at. I was really curious about this, and so I have like 13. I have like about I think it's like 10 to 12 hours played of each previous chapter of Shovel Knight.
Yeah.
I have 18 hours played for King of Cards.
Ow.
To be fair, I really got Joustus, the card game they created, is actually a lot of fun. It's so unlike a lot of the other Shovel Knight games where I kind of just played through the entire thing, and after it ended, I was like, do I want to get all the the items? Do I want to do all this? Do I want to do all that? I'm just like, nah, I enjoyed the story. This was like, I'm not finishing this game until I beat every level 100%, get every single merit badge or whatever, I forget what it's called exactly, in every single level, until I unlock every single place, until I fight every boss, until I beat every person at Joustus. Like, I did everything. I got every secret in that entire game before I finished it, and I had a blast. I loved it. I love King Knight's story. He essentially the game takes place just before essentially the beginning of Shovel Knight. It's the closest to the beginning. Story's good. King Knight as a character is fun because he's just a fucking moron who just wants to be king, and everyone's trying really hard to be like, no, you need to do this. Like, his mother's a character in the game, like trying to make sure he's like the best, king he could be, and he just does not give a shit. He doesn't listen to anyone. There's a huge thing about the game that like there'll be little cutscene things where it's like, and this person relayed all this information to King Knight and told him all about how to be the best ruler. King Knight sort of listened. That's what it says. It's just stuff like that. I love the writing of it. It was really good. I think it's probably the second best of the stories. And I think it's very close to the best. The Spectre Torment, I think, is the best for combat. I think it's very close. But if you like Shovel Knight, and particularly if you already have the treasure trove, it is well worth playing. It's a really, really good game. In addition, they released at the exact same time Shovel Knight Showdown, which is it's a fighting game essentially.
Now, is what Sean Velasquez told us.
Yeah,
is it like a full-fledged fighting game, as in each character has a story arc in it?
Absolutely. So the way the game works is you start out and you have like a few of the knight characters. So you have Shovel Knight, Plague Knight, King Knight, Spectre Knight, Black Knight, and Shield Knight. I think that's all you start out with, and you could do story mode. I played the game on the normal difficulty, and honestly, I really hated the combat at first, so I had to just drop it to easy because I'm like, I just care about the story. After getting used to it, I bumped it back up to normal because it's just like it's slower. It felt slower than the actual Shovel Knight game, so I had to get used to that. But once I did, like, all the characters feel right. So, you know, the 4 characters we've already played as all feel the same way as they did. They all have their different move lists and stuff. So it's like a tweaked version of how they played in the base game. But then to make more sense for a fighting game. But then, like, you know, all the characters are there. So as it's certain characters, when you finish the story, unlock a new character. So, you know, you unlock Propeller Knight, you unlock Tinker Knight, etc. You unlock the Enchantress. And they play how it felt to fight them in a boss fight. There are different... Go ahead.
So in other words, like, their pattern moves are pretty much their
Yep, you can literally... So if you remember, like, if you remember playing Shovel Knight, if you played it, like, the Enchantress battle is, like, she is zooming, like, corner to corner, raining, like, a hellfire down on you, and then dun, 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 and then hovers for a little while and does that. You can, once you get used to her playset, you can play it like that. There's different modes where it's just, you know, Showdown, which is just taking out your opponents, and then there's modes where it's collecting new gems, and then there's modes that are hybrid, whichever you can do first. There are levels that are just a static screen, and it's screens you remember from the game, and there's other ones that have the Shovel Knight scrolling, so there's levels that scroll around the whole map, so you have to keep up. I will say, on every difficulty I play, which is just easy and normal, the AI is so fucking stupid that on any of the scrolling levels, you can just stand still if you have to defeat the opponents, and you'll beat them eventually. They'll either get stuck against a wall and, you know, get pushed into the screen, or they'll just, you know, if there's a bottomless thing, they'll just fall off. It happens. But I could see this being a great party game if I had someone else to actually play it with. But the stories are good. Some of them are just kind of like Mortal Kombat-y, where it's just like, you know, so each story works that you get the same exact intro for what's happening. The game takes place pretty much timeline-wise, like in the first few levels of the original Shovel Knight is kind of where it takes place. But there's the same story you see for the overarching thing. Then each character gets their own individual story. Then they'll get a couple story moments during their like path that they're taking, and then they'll have an ending story. And there's some like Mortal Kombat-y endings where it's just like, and then this guy did this and it was good, kind of stuff. But there's other ones.
3.
Yeah. There's other ones though that do actually add to the story, like, and actually add some nuance to the overarching story. It makes me want to like look up if there's Shovel Knight lore. Let me just put it that way.
Is.
I mean, but but if like there's somebody who has like who put together a collected like timeline of lore, like that's what I specifically.
Sean did. I talked about it with him. There's actual like y'all have deep lore in this over. He's like, yes, this is an ever-growing universe. We have books like he just was going on.
I need to talk to him about that because I really, really love the stuff, and I really want to just like read a collected lore manual for it.
He wants to come on.
He can come. He can come back and just talk Shovel Knight lore and bore the shit out of everyone else while I just go deep into.
He's so into it. Like he's
entertaining.
I love that too because they still love that game. They truly love what you do.
So I've only played the first one.
Yeah,
that's all you need to. I mean, at least understand Shovel Knight.
Yeah, I mean, Shovel. If you enjoyed it, like so Showdown also, just like King Cards and just like all the expansion chapters, whatever, come with treasure trove. I'm now just waiting to see what Shovel Knight Dig is going to be because I really am surprised how much I love Shovel Knight. Hell, I have back here.
I played it.
All of the amiibos.
I mean, like it's kind of like a mix between what was it, SteamWorld Dig and Dig Dug.
Yeah, that's what you were saying. That's what I remember, and I'm very interested in seeing because that's a different studio. It's not Yacht Club proper making that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's all my little Shovel Knight friends.
I'm sad because I want to get those amiibos and I can't right now.
I had the trio. Well, I had the trio one pre-ordered for almost 2 years.
Yeah.
Before Best Buy canceled it. Without telling me, and then I redid it, which worked out fine. Because I ended up getting a really good deal, and then I bought the gold one for Shovel. I have a gold Shovel Knight somewhere. I think I already misplaced it.
Gotcha. But let's roll on. Ryan, I see something about some heist magic.
Yeah, man, I've just been like itching for a really good heist game. We're taking a small break, I think, from Rainbow Six on Saturdays on the Meaty Boy. So I think our next goal is we're gonna go and do every heist in GTA in order. Ooh,
man! Let me know if you need another guy with that drinks a lot of Fireball and just does the best.
Sure. Yeah, I was just watching videos of all the heists, and I saw the one where the thing we don't talk about, where we were all blackout drunk and trying to do that heist mission. But I saw somebody else play it, and like they got it in the second try, and like very easily.
Mm-hmm. I've seen that before.
Like a lot of people shooting, I think.
Then we did like 20 tries, and then finally on the 21st try we get it done and we all escape except Justin, who is standing off in the middle of a cornfield because his character has wandered off just as he has in real life. Justin just got up and left, didn't say anything to anybody, and then he comes back and everybody was pissed and he didn't understand why.
Yep, that about covers most of that. Yep,
there must be some of that night I don't remember.
I think there's a lot, and I believe we've destroyed the recordings, though. So
Justin still has his recording. Mine got corrupted, and I think you and Brad deleted yours.
Oh yeah, no, I totally deleted it.
Yeah, so I think Justin's maybe the only one who has a reference to the last heist ever attempted by proper villains.
So, but I've been playing the online thing, just getting things set up for us so that we have like a base of operations to do everything with. And that game, it's a little bit easier to solo now. And I was so happy that I think out of the 20 games or so, like the lobbies that I've been in, I've only ran into one with a hacker. Which, like, I remember for a while, like you couldn't get in one without somebody turning you into a grapefruit.
Yeah, like totally ruined GTA Online for me.
That's why I stopped playing it as well, because I literally was just thinking earlier how much I wanted to play it. I got super back into GTA Online when the Diamond Casino stuff dropped. Like, I was streaming it when it first launched, and I was logging in every day to do the wheel spin. I was logging in every day to do the horse racing stuff. I was super
Sorry
into
to interrupt you. Did you ever win the big prize on the wheel?
I never got a car. I got clothing a bunch of times, and
first try, I got the car.
You're not the only one. I know numerous people who did that. Literally, when I was streaming, I was streaming my first ever wheel spin, and it was like 50 RP points, and I was so bummed. And then I think it was Khalif from Spawn on me. Was like, "Hold on, I'm gonna go try this." He hopped in and he got the car, and I'm like, "I hate you so goddamn." But yeah, I was loving it, but then even in the casino, hackers were hitting me, and I'm just like, okay, I love this game. I love GTA Online. I want to play GTA Online. I can't deal with this, and I just stopped playing.
Like, I love Payday 2, and I love Grand Theft Auto, but I wish sometimes that not as many people played Grand Theft Auto. Like, like I wish it was a smaller community like Payday. Because like you can go into Payday 2 now, and if and pay $20 and get all like a million things of DLC, and you'll always have something new to do. So like it's such a good game. And I don't understand how it's there. Like they're still making content for it. It's still good. But yeah, I'm in that heist mood. I'm hoping that they come out with some more just games like that, like an Ocean's 11 game kind of game. That'd be cool.
I really like heisty stuff as well. I love the whole kind of heist atmosphere thing. So I agree. Like it's heist stuff and spy stuff. That's what I want more of in games.
I totally booped up Alpha Protocol the other day. Just see what it looked like a widescreen, but make it back to that.
I always mean to stream it for Chris Avalone's birthday for like 4 years running, and I just always forget to actually do it.
Aww.
I don't even know why specifically that, but I really want to play Alpha Protocol again. I was talking to Mikey from Obsidian about it like a month or two ago.
Actually, almost installed it the other day.
So good. It actually runs pretty well.
I think I have it installed still.
And actually has full ultra widescreen support, which most games nowadays do not.
That's impressive.
It's very impressive. Yeah. Speaking of Avalon, you have something written here about you want to get into Divinity Original Sin 2?
I was just writing notes. Like I keep thinking. So
this is what I could literally throw away.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, I was just saying. I really desperately want to play that game, and I want somebody to tell me where I need to play it because Reb Valentine has been talking about her, and I think Imran Khan have been playing that together a lot.
Isn't it like you can import your save between Switch and PC?
Yeah, but I don't have the money to buy it in two places.
Oh, okay.
I would say get it on PC.
Yeah?
I would say that I played a lot of Divinity Original Sin 2. It's a really good game.
It's on Steam Share. Steam Share. You have access.
Okay, well, I was just saying I like the idea. I want to play something. I want to play D&D, and I just don't have time for actual D&D. So it's just it's. I know it's not quite the same, but it's that level of openness, and it's what we were missing with that Pathfinder game that Ryan and I tried to get into last year or the year before.
In all honesty, it's like if you could combine the lore of that game with the gameplay mechanics of Divinity 2, you'd have exactly what you're looking for.
Yeah.
But Divinity Original Sin 2 is like since they've made the update where you can do it like turn-based.
Okay.
That whole thing was turn-based.
Oh fuck! No, I'm thinking of Pillars of Eternity. That's the one that went turn-based. Never mind. I was wrong about that. Divinity Original Sin 2 is really good though. Still.
Yeah, the only reason I was thinking Switch is just because I do just prefer playing things on the Switch, and it's easier for me to just sit on the couch with the kids.
Buy for the Switch. When you feel like playing on a PC, play Justin. Don't play Steam. And there you go.
I will keep that in mind the next time there's a sale on it.
I will be playing Steam all the time now.
Manishtana.
I'm just going to turn on games and not even play them. Just let them run.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I feel that.
Yeah. And if I do, it probably rack up as many hours as I did in this next thing. That God, who threw a coin to your boy The Witcher?
Nope.
Who's into that right now? No,
I haven't seen the show, and
that's
never played Witcher 3. I own it.
I own it on every conceivable way now.
I know you do.
You've never played The Witcher 3? Didn't you used to do content for it?
I did content for
Justin did, and then I would do narration for it. No,
I'll say we got the horse glitch video, which I still have that save, and that horse still is creepy.
And that got featured on Kotaku our video for that. That one got featured on the highlight reel. So we had that, and then I was saying in the pre-show kind of thing, I've played 25 hours of the first Witcher about 3 or 4 months before Witcher 3 came out, because I was like, I'm gonna play these games finally. And I can honestly say that Witcher 1 was the first, we've talked about this before, but the first time I've ever just played that much of a game where I'm just like, I just don't want to play this anymore.
After my introduction to Gwent video that we did, you're not interested?
God, no. But no, that's the thing is I am interested, and I want to play the Witcher series. I've just decided, I keep psyching myself up. I keep reinstalling 3. Somebody told me I had to play 2 before 3, and I finally said, you know what, fuck this. I'm literally I am just going to play 3. I am only going to play 3.
Now, I will say 2
after I watch Witcher.
Yeah, but you don't have to. And for anybody wondering about the Witcher games, and the show is more based off the books. The games actually take place after the books.
Mm-hmm.
It's a weird relationship between them and that author.
And they actually CD Projekt Red just got the rights back to make another game.
Yeah, they're making friends because they're like, ooh, we all get money, yay. But yeah, it's more like actually after. Well, first thing I want to say is I'm not the only one in this mood. Definitely not.
It's
I gotta find articles about it. And it's not just that. It has been setting concurrent playing at one-time Steam records higher than The Witcher has ever been.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, it's been topping some stuff that's been up there for a while. So a lot of people are getting in the mood for The Witcher right now.
Yeah, the number, I was seeing the numbers. I forget exactly what they were, but the numbers were incredibly impressive, particularly for how old the game was. And yeah, again, higher than it ever. Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's not just it's not it's doing the best it's done in 5 years. It's literally doing the best it's ever done. It's peaking higher than when the game was originally released because the show's popular and the show's drawing interest. And yeah.
And that's just on Steam.
Sucks, though.
What sucks?
What sucks is that people are going to go and they're going to play the first Witcher because it's cheap. And that game, I don't know if you've played it recently, it does not hold up well at all.
It doesn't.
No, I played it 2 years ago, and it was a nightmare.
It is ugly. It's like on an old BioWare, I think the Aurora engine or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it just looks like garbage. It plays like garbage. And I just don't want people to be like, this is what they made the show after.
Mm-hmm.
I just want people to play The Witcher 3 and just
I don't see boobs. But yeah. Witcher 2 is also good, but also has issues too, as it was definitely one of those games that's built for a PC first. and then they try to make it good for play with the controller. I think the only console it's on was 360. But
yes.
Witcher 2, I will say, actually still holds up today. That game is still damn demanding and beautiful, except for the character models on PC. And Witcher 3 is just awesome. And I will say, after binging The Witcher, then going back and playing Witcher 3, I actually they reference everything that came before so much. From the books, like there's a whole lot of things. Like I never knew why Geralt was called the Blatcher Blaviken. Now I know. Stuff like that. Like you'll be watching the show. Actually, if you watch the show, speaking of the first Witcher, the cutscene that opens up Witcher, that's like an episode of the show because that's something that happens in the books early on. So yeah, there's some good stuff in there. But yeah, I got in such a Witcher fix. So I had a trip to my grandmother's for Christmas. So I decided to try to binge The Witcher in a couple days. I've done it. And I was like, I'm in such a Witcher mood. I booted it up, didn't know where I wanted to play it. Like, oh man, I'm gonna put it on PC. Oh look, cool, PC mods. I can put Cloak on Geralt. That's freaking awesome. HD textures. This game's so beautiful. And I'm like, I like 200% games that I know, and I like to get trophies or achievements, and I don't care for them on GOG or Steam or anything. Like I only care for them as if it's Xbox or PlayStation. Now I started on PlayStation because I appreciate trophies more. Bought it on there. I'm like, oh, this is cool. Then I bought it, and I was like, oh wait, it's on Game Pass for Xbox. Let me download that. It looked way better, runs way better on an Xbox Pro. I'm like, well, this is where I'm playing it now. And then I bought the full version because the one that's on Game Pass is just the game with no expansions. Granted, that's a whole lot of game on its own. And then the expansions are pretty much essentially different games. And to give you an idea how much I played of The Witcher, I probably did already 100% this game. I have 212 hours according to GOG on
that's
just the PC version.
I
do not know how much I got on console, but that's all I really did the rest of my break. I went into just a weird funk that I didn't want to do anything. I just played The Witcher. Which is bad because that means there's a lot of stuff I wanted to do, like get back into streaming that I didn't. But yeah, I'm just such a Witcher mood right now. People want to know an idea who played The Witcher 3. I got back from Skellige, about to go with Kaer Morhen. That kind of stuff, man. That's where I'm at right now. And I did a lot of side quests too. So Brian, you been getting back into it too, or just Witcher in general?
I did. I have been. Well, no, I've been playing Witcher 3. I've had a curse where the very first city you go to after the first little bit, I always stopped playing there because I'd be like, all right, this is a good stopping point, and I just never came back for some reason or
another. No, it actually makes sense. It's White Orchid's the first part. It's kind of a slog to get through. Then you hit Velen, which is a bunch of swamps and stuff, which is cool with the setting it's in, but also kind of a slog. And then you eventually get Novigrad, which is the huge city, which is the city alone is bigger than most video games.
Oh wow! But yeah, I'm traipsing around Velen right now.
Gotcha. And the cool thing about The Witcher 2, you've probably seen this for people who, if you read the books, and I haven't, unfortunately. Because I'm not a reader, dude.
I bought all the books.
The thing you bought them all.
I bought all the books.
Read that Norwegian goodness. But on top of Witcher's just if you're wondering what it is, it's a dark fantasy in a place where sorceresses, curses, monsters are all real. They do a turn on some that heavily relates to some fairy tales. Witcher 3 has some. There's a group called the Crone. They have a road of treats that leads kids to them that people don't want. So Hansel and Gretel.
Yep.
They got a frog Prince and the Frog, or whichever.
The Frog Sis and the Prince.
Yeah, that too. A lot of just cool things that relate to other things. I'm tired. I'm losing my stuff, and I haven't had dinner yet, so my mind's not there. But, yeah, just getting really into it. I want to be to get 100% or whatever 1,000 points plus DLC stuff for Xbox. I'm very tempted to go back to Witcher 2, play through that, which I might do that on stream. And then play it again on PC using my Witcher 2 save, because you don't have to do this, but at least for PC players, you can actually carry your Witcher 1 save and choices over to Witcher 2, your Witcher 2 choices over to Witcher 3. But if you haven't played any of them, there's a point in Witcher 3 where you can kind of decide what you did at like pivotal points. But not necessary to play the ones that came before, to play the third one, as we already said. But yeah, super in the mood. Probably gonna play some tonight if I didn't know what's happening with Star Citizen right now, other than they released 3.8. Yes, I'm playing Star Citizen as well. It's a rocky release. Like, it was performing better on the test server than it's on the actual release of 3.8. Ryan, I know you I talked you into it, and you probably haven't played it since.
Yeah, I was just thinking, didn't I buy that?
You did. Yeah, I talked you into it while we went to see Star Wars. And
Star Wars.
4 stars.
Right now, like, they booted back up the test server. In a way, they're trying to entice people to come to the test server instead of just playing the live build. Is they unlock every single ship for you to try. So if there's a certain ship, they're like, man, I'm never going to afford real money to buy that. Yeah, you got access to all of them right now. So that's probably what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to try 2 stream this week, and it's probably one of the things I'll stream. So yeah, good stuff. All right. Is that all we talked about with the games you play? Anybody else want to got anything?
It's all mine.
Oh, man.
I've been playing idle games.
Why not? Nothing wrong with an idle game.
One in particular has really caught my my interest. It's Bud Farm Idle Tycoon. It's so stupid, but I play it all the time. It is so satisfying just to hit +1 so that my little weed farm grows 1 more weed plant, and I can sell it, and then eventually buy 1 more worker to sell 1 more.
One more.
All about the 1 more.
And I haven't spent any money on it, so I'm very happy.
Good for you, nice. Man. Oh, geez. So I fell into a couple mobile games over the weekend. Surprise. I don't do that. My nephew was playing like the King of Fighters game, which I didn't know was a thing, which is pretty much like King of Fighters theme, but it's like a beat 'em up.
Interesting.
But that game is so predatory.
So it's
with
like
microtransactions.
Final King of Fighters?
Kind of. Yeah, and they did a Tekken crossover too, so they had a bunch of Tekken characters running around in there too. But yeah, I got super hooked to that. Then I got in a Dragon Ball mood, and now I'm actually back on Dragon Ball Legends. So fun stuff. Also, pre-ordered Dragon Ball Kakarot. Totally going to stream that one, because that's the thing I learned I need to do for streaming is I can't play games that actually care about the story.
No.
Because I really want to pay attention to it.
That's what happened to me with Judgment. Is I started playing that. I'm like, I'm enjoying this game. I'm streaming this game. And then I started getting really into the story. And I'm like, I can't stream this anymore. Now,
the story of Dragon Ball Z, story is old as time. One that if you played any game, you have played the story over and over and over and over again. And I give props to those voice actors. Like, they still sound as excited when they do the voices as they do the day-to-day anime. Like, they're still putting effort into their voice work for the games every time. Because I don't know how many times they had to record a new dub, even for the original Japanese actors, for that same story over and over and over and over, because they do it every time for every game. But yeah, I'm excited. It's a Dragon Ball RPG. That's cool. I enjoyed it and broke it when I tried it at PAX, so I'm enjoying my own home soon. It's the real reason I'm not going to PAX South, Josh.
Yep, that sounds about right. That checks out.
That checks out. Other than I really can't. Not I can. I just don't want to pay the price for a training ticket with how jacked up they are right now.
I totally get that. Also
want to go to PAX East. Got to move my vacation days and save them for that. So
that also true. I mean, I literally just booked Disneyland stuff last night. So
nice. Yeah, we're going to Disneyland. People, come along.
I mean, we're gonna be literally together for like 10 days, including a road trip. We might film stuff.
Ooh. Yeah, we're gonna build lightsabers and whatnot. But yeah, I think this wraps up for games we play. News. Holy crap! I didn't think we'd get to that.
We actually got through this stuff really quickly, all things considered.
I'm honestly trying to stretch it out with Witcher because I don't have much like other things to go on. So a couple things. Well, I put this out in third, but we're gonna actually leave with that. Huge shout out to Blessing. If you don't know, Kind of Funny just had their 5th anniversary stream, and Blessing is a full-time hire-on for the games division of Kind of Funny. On top of being on the Kind of Funny daily, he's also leading the charge for PSI Love You XOXO. They have brought it back.
Yep.
So far, he's, as he does, doing awesome work, and it's killing it.
My day job is just a lot of database entry, and normally I don't watch Kind of Funny content. I'll just listen to I listen to We Have Cool Friends in the car. I don't watch anything, but because I'm at the computer for hours now, just copying and pasting and writing a lot of stuff, it's just like, okay. So I've just been having Kind of Funny content playing on the screen over there, and just watching. I've been watching his KFGD stuff. I watched PSI Love You XOXO, and it's been really surreal and cool seeing Blessing there. It's also just, he's doing a good job. I posted today on Twitter that I started a thread that is essentially just things I want to do in 2020, and I'm just going to update it as I think of stuff. And one of them is, before the end of the year, I want to co-host KFGD again, but with Blessing as the host instead of Greg.
That'd be so freaking awesome. Yeah. So good stuff. Congrats, dude.
Also, Blessing, come on the podcast. Come on Constant Calibrating podcast. I keep asking, and you keep saying maybe.
Nobody watches this. So my boy Jim Rage down there. Yeah. So big shout out. So there's a bit of not a shake up really, but there's some actually kind of good news happening over at EA. I need to look up. I meant to look up articles. I don't have names. I'm only assuming this is their positions, but basically, the lead of Respawn.
I'm looking it up.
Thank you
for you.
Thank you. I'm gonna stall and drink this drink. That's
so anyways, Hollywood Reporter's the only place pulled up. So yeah, Respawn Entertainment co-founder Vince Zampella is now going to head DICE's LA-based game studio. Let's see.
That I believe his general response. Well, not response. What do you call it? Well, introduction. Not. I don't know. Well, basically, hey, you got this. What's your piece on this? He's pretty much touting out oh, this is going to be a new studio. I think they're rebranding it. And basically they're going to get to focus on story-driven narrative content.
Yeah, I'm now pulling up someplace that actually can give me actual information, because that Hollywood Reporter was nothing.
A Dark Souls game with Star Wars, it will work.
Yeah. All right, this is not giving me this. Oh, here it is. I found it. It's worth noting Zampella isn't leaving Respawn, though his role there is now as more of a head coach. In his absence, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order will be left in the capable hands of the game's director, Stig Asmussen, while Apex Legends will be looked after by Affinity Ward veteran Chad Grenier. Essentially they kind of have now different heads at Respawn looking over their multiplayer game, their story-driven stuff, and then one other secret project that they're not talking about yet. Is what I had read the other day.
Sounds like some good moves right there. I say this often, but good job, EA.
I mean, I don't remember. Did the Game Awards this year have an award for they in the past had done the Best Publisher and Best Developer awards? I don't remember seeing that this year. But all I'm going to say is Respawn, I think, should be a huge contender for Best Developer of 2019. They started the year with Apex Legends, that was just slaughtered with a free-to-play,
they touched the untouchable.
Yep. They actually stood a chance against Fortnite, and then they ended the year by releasing broken in places, but an incredibly solid single-player Star Wars game under the EA banner, something that was not possible, thought to be at least. It's nice seeing that. It's nice seeing that.
I'm really curious the story of the development of Fallen Order. I wonder how many guts of previous games that were canceled in there. I wonder how quick, when they actually knew they started that they were getting a Star Wars game and working on it. I want to know when Fallen Order is oh yes, this is the game we're going. Because there's that little video cut when they EA announces, I forget which show it was. It was a long time ago. And there's that little cut of Respawn, and he just real quick, we're making a Star Wars game.
Mm-hmm.
But I wonder if that's they knew at that time exactly what they're doing, or if did it just all kind of come together last minute?
Well, I always said that. I think it was this E3. No, it was the previous E3. I think it was E3 2018. I remember they were like, yeah, and we're making a new Star Wars game, and then they showed it. I don't remember. It was like it was someone from the studio. It might have been Vince actually, because I don't think it was Stig. And they were like chatting with him in the audience, and it's like, yeah, it's Jedi Fallen Order, and shrug. Like they literally clear. It almost seemed like they didn't tell him that they were going to be announcing Fallen Order that day. Like that's almost what it felt like. It was so awkward, and it was so weird of a thing that I was just like, well, I am not playing this game, was my response.
Yeah, but then things were coming out. It was looking good, but when it actually hit, it just felt like, yeah, it's taken out of the oven a little too early to make that movie release. But either way, it's still a good Star Wars game.
We'll never see it, being that it's an EA published game, but I really would love to see Danny O'Dwyer and NoClip do a doc about that, like their style. Like, I always say I'm going to watch NoClip stuff, and I just never get around to it, but I would go out of my way to watch that one. Somebody Blam in chat said, I wonder if this will be the end of Frostbite or at least the end of it being the primary engine.
Yeah, that's a good point. It was something else I was very happy about. They were able to not only make a Star Wars game with EA or under EA, but they were able just to make a game, period, without using the Frostbite engine, which EA was trying to flagship forever.
God, they've been trying to make it's literally like the scene from Mean Girls, except instead of stop trying to make fetch work, it's not, it's stop trying to make Frostbite work, because Frostbite has good stuff here and there, but Frostbite is awkward in the BioWare games, and it's so nice to have something else.
Yeah, I believe there are like stories of how awkward it was for BioWare to figure out how to make an RPG work within the Frostbite engine.
It's literally considered the reason why Dragon Age Inquisition was remember, Dragon Age Inquisition is a good game. It is definitely a good game, but go back and read the articles Game Informer wrote about it when it was first announced, when they did their cover story on it. That is a completely and utterly different game. And I read something once that they originally, the very first concept of the game, they were not going to be using Frostbite. Then they changed the Frostbite, but they were still trying to get everything they had planned out in it. But like, there's whole entire types, like parts of the game that are just, they talked about, not there. But that if you play the game, you can see where they were going to be. There's awkward stuff like that. And Andromeda has that to an extent as well, because that engine was made for first-person shooters, and they had to jury-rig the fuck out of it. And that's why, a large part of why Andromeda has its animation issues. So I really hope EA is not trying to just hamstring all of their developers anymore, having seen how well Fallen Order was received. Though that game has some awkward-ass animation sometimes.
Or bug. Yeah, it does. But granted, like they use Frostbite for just sports stuff, but that's still completely different as well.
Speaking of sports stuff, I actually bought a sports game for the Switch, and I wish my Switch was nearby so I could actually remember what it was. It was like Gary Whitta recommended some hockey game that was on sale for like $4, and it sounded really good.
Is it? Or did you just buy it and not play it yet?
Oh yeah, that one. I'm playing Shovel Knight. I can really only mentally handle like one game at a time.
Oh boy.
Game ADHD.
I'm trying to look it up right now and see if I can find it. But continue.
A bit longer.
No. Okay, you just keep talking. If I find it, I'll interrupt.
You're gonna find it. Cool, Ryan. How are you?
Just continue.
Good. Thank you. Great talk.
Just continue the show.
But yeah. God, we can kind of go on about Fallen Order. And the thing we didn't mention, I think they used Unreal for it. So Unreal just keeps getting richer. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Wow. How long is it going to take you to find this, Josh?
Oh, no, just literally continue the show. If I find it, I will tell you.
All right. Oh, you're going to do one of those things that like, oh man, I forgot what this was. And like near the end of the show, I'd be like, oh, here it is.
We are at the end of the show. Just finish the show.
We totally are at the end of the show. So one thing I do want to mention.
Oh, I think I found it. Super Blood Hockey.
You good? You got that out?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. So if you don't know, as the recording of this podcast, AGDQ 2020 is going on right now. One of the big things that's just like kind of like this is the article that people were posting about is your two dudes, both wearing blindfolds, one NES controller playing Punch-Out, and I believe they did not get knocked out and beat the game.
I hadn't read the no knockout thing, but I did watch them. Finish
beating the game. Either way,
I don't think I could beat. Good.
Oh yeah, one had control over the D-pad side, one had control over the B&A side.
Yep. I don't think I could beat Mike Tyson on my own at this age without.
Once it was one of the most achieving things I ever did as a child.
As a kid, I don't remember. I could get through like the first, I don't know, like 8 to 10 fights as a kid, and then I had to use cheat codes
to
get further.
Double Dragon 2 only because the game glitched and gave me infinite lives.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
That's about right. It's always awesome to watch them like break these games that you just really don't think of. Like I remember sometime last year I was watching like a speedrun of Arkham City, and they broke that so much. Holy crap.
I don't usually watch the games done quick stuff, but I'm always fascinated by it, and I'm honestly also really impressed by the charity work and the skill.
Yeah, only speaking about charity work, not just the people playing, but there's also people who donate like their art and stuff like that to go off for donations. All donations good for a good cause. I believe even like our friend Sarah, she donated painted amiibos for it.
Yes, indeed, and also semi-friend of the show, Dave Oshry, was asked to commentate over. I think they were speedrunning a Medieval, and apparently nobody had like coached him beforehand, and he kept saying like "fuck cancer" during it before finally he's like, "Wait, can I say that?"
Yeah, and it's kind of like they try to keep it family friendly.
Yeah, and that was a very funny thing. I've been trying to find a clip on for like 2 days now. I haven't been trying very hard.
I do need to watch it. Like, Yosemite mentioned the Zero Mission 1, and one thing, like the big like jewel, or at least the big event, usually is like a competitive Super Metroid run. Usually closes the show, and that's where everybody votes. Like, they save the animals and then kill the animals, yada yada yada, which ending they want to get. But yeah, it's always a cool event. So highly recommend watching it. Streamed on Twitch right now. I mean, if you're watching Mixer, be loyal. Watch Mixer, but it's Twitch is where it's at over there with where they're streaming. So yeah, that good stuff. So yeah, I think that's the show, man. I think that's it. I'm hungry.
Righteous.
I'm only drinking what's in this glass, which is fantastic.
Yeah, I mean,
and I run out of things to say. Like, my brain is dead, especially after my day today. And yeah, I think that's going to be it. So thank you all for joining us this week. Catch Y'all Gaming Podcast is live every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on mixer.com/ConcalPod. We'll be back January. It is 8th. Josh, you didn't correct this part. I don't know when next Wednesday is.
We don't need that. You don't need "we'll be back." I rewrote this whole thing.
Ryan, what'd you do?
Oh, no, he tweaked it, and he added "we'll be back January 8th" with a navy bean casserole.
Yeah, I mean, if the date was right, I might have fell for that at that time.
Mm-hmm. I missed one thing. You can double check the doc too. It's your show.
I don't care anymore. We're on Facebook at facebook.com/ConstantlyCalibrating, Twitter at ConcalPod. I'm Justin at Justin_Glorious on Twitter. Josh is at Bear Punch. Ryan is at Real Ryan Firster. Check Instagram at Instagram.com/ConstantlyCalibrating. Come chat with us on Discord at ConstantlyCalibrating.com/Discord. Drop us a review on all the podcasts. Subscribe whenever you're listening. And at least one place you're not. All this helps us look fancy and gets us review codes and hugs, as the doc shows, because I'm totally, winging this while I say doc. Yeah, that's it, people. So with that, wrestle down and welcome until we catch you next time. Hi.
What are you going to do when I quit this show in a few weeks?
I don't know, dude. I don't know. Ryan, what you doing?